On today's episode, I'm going to use 100% thrifted items to show you how you can turn outdated, old, and tired things into fresh, inviting, and super unique home decor pieces. You do not need to spend a fortune to make your house feel like home. All it takes is a little bit of creativity and a little bit of elbow grease, and you can turn all these outdated pieces into something that everyone will say, "Wow, where did you get that?" The first piece we're going to work on today is this very tired old bookshelf. It definitely is outdated and it really needs some love and TLC. I got this off of Facebook Marketplace. I think I spent $15 for it and I thought that it was solid wood, but as I flipped it upside down, I discovered that it was particle board covered in a wood veneer finish, and tons of the veneer was peeling off of it on the bottom of this piece and along the sides. And I thought, oh no, what did I get myself into? But then I reminded myself that that is literally my favorite thing, is turning an ugly duckling into a swan. So I didn't want to give up on this piece. I already sanded it before I did this before picture, and I peeled off all of that peeling veneer, and I want to show you a really cool and unique way that you can update a piece like this without having to make any major repairs. I'm going to be painting it in the color Chateau by Fusion because I want to brighten this piece up and bring it into the current time period. It was probably made in the 80s, I would have to guess, maybe the 70s, but we're going to try and update it into something that works really well with modern decorations, but also has a timeless look that you can decorate vintage things on here with. So I'm going to lighten it up with this Chateau color, and as you know, I always start my pieces upside down when I paint them. That is why I am starting right now with this piece flipped upside down, and yes, I am painting in my kitchen. I'll be very careful not to make a mess. The next thing I'm going to do is remove the handles off the drawers so that I can get painting the rest of this piece. What I'm going to do for the paint finish is I'm going to go with a crackle medium to make a crackled look on this entire piece. The reason I'm choosing to do that is because of all the damaged veneer that is on the sides and the back. Instead of trying to fight the imperfections, I'm going to embrace an overall imperfect look on here by creating that crackled finish on the entire piece. When it is done, you will not notice that any of these veneer pieces are missing, and I sanded them nice and smooth as well, so that way there was not going to be any future chipping or splintering or anything like that. But I want to make sure to get this crackle medium really thick on those areas where it is missing the veneer. And one thing I want to remind you about using crackle medium, especially if you've never used it before, is that it can drip if you do it too thick, so keep an eye on it as it dries and fix any drips as they appear. I'm going to be using these clearance handles. I got them for $1.50 a piece at Hobby Lobby a long time ago, but I thought that they would be a really great way to update this and also go with that kind of rustic farmhouse look, and it could even lean a little bit beachy depending on how you decorate with it. I love doing things that can be really versatile to where you can change up your decor, because I don't know about you, but I'm always changing my mind and changing my decor in my house. So I like to make things be really versatile and not stuck in one sort of style. But we had to move the holes down a little bit since these are cup pulls. You do have to install them a little bit lower than what you would normally do with any other type of handle. So my husband Manny is helping me drill those holes in while I'm taking care of the little ones. But it was really simple. All we had to do was drill the same exact size holes, same distance apart, just a little bit lower, since this was the same size width of a handle. Then I'm going to go over it with the crackle medium, and right now you can see me painting the color Chateau on there. When you're painting over the crackle medium, once the crackle's dry, you paint with your whatever paint you're choosing. You want to do quick and straight strokes. You don't want to go over and over again because it will mess up that crackle finish. So you want to do just simple strokes over it, and only one coat should do it. You can see it instantly starts to crackle like this, and I think this looks so cool. Let's take a look back at what we started with. It's almost hard to believe that this is the same piece that we are working with now. I didn't know what I was going to use to decorate on this bookshelf, so I wanted to make sure that whatever style I did suited the bookshelf more than anything. So that way, whatever we put on here is going to look great no matter what. I love creating versatile pieces that you can change out decor on without being stuck in one confined genre. Right now, it is a total blank canvas, but you cannot tell that it is missing all of that veneer, and it just looks really neat. It can go beachy, country, all sorts of things, but I had tons of really farmhouse country items in my garage, and I thought maybe this would be a good piece to stage all of this on. I bought all of these on Facebook Marketplace. I bought this really cool kettle off of I think I got this from an online auction. It was like a part of a group of things. And then I have a lamp that goes with this lampshade that I have been waiting to use for like probably a year. I also have a lot of random things here in the shelves in my garage that I need to get cleaned up and sold in my booth. So I'm just trying to find a bunch of stuff that goes with the same color scheme. Like, oh, this is perfect color scheme to go with those plates that I'm going to be staging inside this bookshelf. So I'm going to wash everything inside the dishwasher before I stage with it and sell it in my booth. I also recently picked up this clearance like terrarium thing for $14 at Hobby Lobby, and I like to find really cool clearance things at Hobby Lobby that I do resell in my booth, and I also decorate with at home. And then I found this framed piece at Goodwill recently for $4.99, and I saw that it had all the same colors that I'm trying to go with those really cute country farmhouse plates. And so let's start styling with all of these really random but cohesively colored pieces that I found in my garage hoard and at Goodwill. On their own, most of these items would get totally looked past because they are outdated. They aren't decorated with in a unique way to catch people's eyes. Like, this is why people are getting rid of these things. They look at it and say, oh, that's really outdated, or that's boring, or that's old, whatever it may be, and they just get cast out. But when you decorate with cohesive things like these brown candlesticks to match with the colors that are in the book stack and the plates, you're creating something unique that looks like a collection, a unique collection that you've been working on for years that goes really well together, and it makes it look interesting all over again. So gather up like colored things in your home and redecorate with them in a way that looks like it is a thought out collection and something unique that if you were to go in somebody else's house and see it, you would be like, wow, that's really neat that you put that together. I would have never thought to put those two things together. But you can make all your home decor or really cheap thrifted decor look cool this way. Like this lamp, it had seen better days. It was missing that little sleeve that goes over the electrical, and I decided to give it a completely unique and whimsical look that will hopefully be eye-catching to somebody who sees it in my booth. I had this scrapbook paper that I got from the Goodwill bins. This is probably costing me like 1 penny to do this quick repair, and I'm just cutting it out to fit the same size that a sleeve would be there to cover that electrical. Then I'm going to use some clear tape to tape this into a tube shape so that it can slide over the electrical there, and that way if somebody else wants to change it out later on they can. But for now, I really think that somebody is going to love how this looks. I know a lot of you are probably thinking that doesn't match, that looks weird, or whatever you're thinking right now, but give it a chance because when it's done, it's going to look really cool. Something that is really popular right now is actually mixing lots of different fabrics and patterns. People are mixing lots of patterns with different wallpaper backgrounds and tons of different pattern pillows. It's a really on-trend look that people are doing right now, and I wanted to experiment with that. And I can't put it here with that frame sitting on the top of the bookshelf, so I did hang that up. And then right now, I'm going to finally test this lamp for the first time. I actually have not tested it to see if it works, so I hope that all that work cleaning it and creating a new sleeve to go over the electrical is not going to be for nothing and that it is going to work. I think this lamp is just so cool. Have you ever seen a lamp like this? I have never seen a lamp that looks like this. It's got a little bit of a Scandinavian look to it, and thank goodness it works. And the whole thing is metal, which I think is even cooler, and I think somebody's really going to love this. I have it up for sale in my booth for only $12.95 right now, and it looks so good. Look at how cute the butterflies look on here. Do you understand the look I was going for now, or do you still think that that is totally crazy? The dishwasher is done and these plates are clean and ready to decorate with. They are gorgeous plates. They really are prettier than you could even think they would be. And I love that every plate has a different type of chicken on it. I want to make sure I'm choosing chickens that are the most beautiful to look at when I am staging them, as well as the ones that really match the color scheme of the book stack on the right there. The plates were really the jumping off point for everything I'm decorating with on this bookshelf. So I want to make sure that the ones in the color scheme I love the most out of these plates are the ones that I'm showing off inside the bookshelf with my staging. I also decided to stage this cute little pot on here. I forgot what these things are called, but I thought that it would look really good and help me to stage more things to sell in my booth at once. Now I'm going to do the next plate stack diagonally across from it. That is one trick that all decorators use, is to match things diagonally on shelves. You don't want to stack two of the same things right on top of each other, so putting them diagonally makes it more interesting and still allows for the decor to be balanced. These have a really cute Mackenzie Childs checkered look around the edge of them, which I think is really unique and it looks beautiful. I was thinking that this whole vignette was going to look really farmhouse because of the chicken plates. And I also stacked a little pot that I found on top of this stack to match the other pot that was on the other plate stack. But now that everything is done and put together, I feel like this has a different type of decor than farmhouse. It has like farmhouse elements to it, but to me, it kind of gives me like 1970s summer camp, sort of like sunroom vibes. Like I don't know how to explain it, but let me know, what would you call this decor style of what I've created today? I really just went with a color scheme more than anything, but I don't know. I just feel like it has a 70s summer camp vibe to it for some reason. But let's take a look at how this stuff looks in my shop and some of the stuff I didn't decorate with in my bookshelf, but I did bring to the shop later. So here it all is in my store. This is exactly how I decorated with it at home, and now I just repeated the same thing in the store. I also try and show off parts of pieces that they may not know exist, like the drawers inside that book stack. And I brought this cute 3-tiered candle stand as well, which you did not get to see earlier in the video. And then this bluebonnet tea kettle is something that I brought to decorate with in my booth because I didn't think it went with what I was doing on the bookshelves. I also brought along the rest of these chicken plates. These are not really my style, but I know somebody else will love them, so I staged them in a little country way here on the china cabinet I have in my booth. But thank you so much for watching today. Please let me know what you think of this vignette that I created today. I know it's quite different than all the things that I normally do, since I tend to go towards that French country style. But thank you so much for watching. If you liked what you saw, don't forget to hit subscribe down below, and I'll see you next time. Bye!